My name is Kenneth Ntende, and welcome to today's episode of Ask Ntende. Today we'll be discussing about how to increase your wealth as an entrepreneur. I have a 6-step guide, and at least from the books I have read and what I have done over time, these are the steps that make the most sense. All right, so the first step is, number one, you need to save money. As entrepreneurs, sometimes we get held up in the entire pipeline. This is happening, so you've made this money, you need to spend it on this, you need to spend it on this. So somehow, especially in the first 3 years of entrepreneurship, you get caught up that you actually do not have physical money. Now, what books like The Richest Man in Babylon advise is it's necessary to save at least 10% of all your money. So what happens is whenever you receive any money, regardless of how much other expenditure you have, regardless of what is spending, it's always advisable, even if you've got $1 million today, take off 100K, keep that separate, consider that money like you don't even have it. Whatever expenses come after that will be catered for in the remaining 900K. So now what happens is, if the more you keep doing this over the year, means today you'll get $1 million, tomorrow you'll get 4 million, the other day you'll get 500K, the other day you'll get, so on whatever amount of money you get, just keep taking off 10%. Now what happens is, after one entire year of you doing that, the amount of money that you would have accumulated would actually be tangible enough that you can actually get a batch of money and use it either to buy an asset or make an investment. So that's the first topic. Save at least 10% of whatever money that crosses your path. So the second way to increase your wealth is you have to learn how to control your expenditures. Yes, by default, most people want you to spend more so that you show them that you have some money, but truth about wealth is it needs to be respected. If you're making 10 million a month and you now opt to get a bigger house of 4 million because you have to show your status, you end up buying a bigger car because you have to show your status, you're going to end up in a scenario where you, in terms of wealth, yes, you're showing the public that you're okay, but in terms of actual wealth, you have diminished. Meaning, in a situation where you had 10 million and instead of getting a house of 4 million, you get one of 1 million and have a sensible car, but not too big that you have to spend all this amount of fuel. The extra saving you would have in just 1 year would be astronomical as compared to someone, yes, you're making 10 million, but you're spending about nine of it in just trying to show the world how much you have arrived. So the second tip is save as much as you can. It's pointless to try and prove to everyone how much you have made it. So the more you can keep, the more money you can keep to yourself, the better. Yes, saving it 1 month may not make sense, but look at the effort that you put through after 1 year. You just moving from a house of 2 million to 1 million would mean in 1 year you have saved 12 million, which is a lot of money that you could use for so much more. Tip number 3 is invest in places where you are knowledgeable. Yes, opportunities keep coming up, but as an entrepreneur, it's very prudent that you learn how to protect your money. So the best way to protect your money is by investing in things that you know. Sometimes instances like now, people want you to invest in Bitcoin. You end up seeing some people jumping into the investment where they literally don't know what Bitcoin is in the first place. So before you dive into anything, I would recommend either do as much research as possible on whatever you want to invest in, or 2, talk to people that have been in that industry so that they can advise you in case you really insist on diving in that investment. But it's prudent that you invest in what you're actually knowledgeable about. If you're a medical doctor, set up a pharmacy because in the first place you know medicine. If you're a lawyer, set up a law firm because that is what your strong point is. In some situations, yes, it could work out, but in most scenarios, you would end up losing a whole lot of money by investing in things that you do not have knowledge about. Alright, number 4 is keep learning. This is actually very, very, very key because trends keep changing, technology changes. How our, let me say, people that were constructing in 1994 is not the same way of construction that is happening right now. So like I was saying, trends keep evolving, trends keep changing. So as an entrepreneur, you must also keep adopting and changing the trends as they change. Otherwise, you'll end up getting stuck in your mentality. And as things are changing and being done faster, you think your mentality still works. It honestly doesn't work in the new realm. So it's important that, number 1, just keep educating yourself. And number 2, learn and be flexible. Learn and be flexible. That is what will help you stay ahead of the game of entrepreneurship. Number 5 is, it's important to guard your money from total loss. There's sometimes where you dive into an investment, especially one that you don't understand, and you end up losing everything, all in the guise of wanting to make 100% profitability. So it would make more sense whereby you have 10 million. This 10 million has been invested wisely. Let me say I've bought some government securities, and I know the government at the end of this financial year will pay me 13%. So I will have my 10 million protected and an extra 1.3 million. So by you keeping those funds secure, you're helping yourself secure your future, because you would have saved the money. That money would have made some interest, and it's much, much better than you trying to invest 5 million in the hope of making 20 million, which honestly, according to all industry standards, doesn't really exist. So at point number 5, I would recommend protect whatever money you have, because in the first place it was quite hard to come by that money. Number 6 is find a way of setting up some passive income. If you remember from my first point, I advise that it's prudent you save 10% of every amount of money that you get. So now what happens is, after you have accumulated money across an entire year, it's important that this money begins working for you. So part of the passive incomes that I would recommend is, after you have saved for an entire year, get whatever amount of money it could be, 10 million, 20 million, 5, whatever it is, and literally go and buy any government bond. Even the Uganda bond could work perfectly fine, because they pay about 13%. Now, it may look like little money, but what you have to remember is, yes, you have worked for an entire year. In year 2, you'll still be working, but the money that you made in year 1 will be making some extra money for you, no matter how little it is. So if you can keep doing that over 5 years, you would have accumulated money from year 1, that money will be making you more money. Money from year 2, that money will be making you more money. Money from year 3, it will be making you more and more. Now, by the time you get to year 5, you're going to have small robots, of which money is just consistently making you more money and more money and more money and more money. Yes, the impact may not be as small in year 1, but remember, wealth is gathered over time. So the more you can keep doing it, the better, and the easier it gets for you to accumulate more and more and more money over time. Alright, in my opinion, those are the 6 ways you can accrue wealth over time. And if you like the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications button, and you'll receive updates of all our other videos going forward.